Yes. Wild Woman Awakening.
Let's fucking awaken her.
Yes, I'm so ready. I am so grateful to be working with you, Kerry. Like, you have brought so much amazing energy into my life. I'm so grateful to have you here to do this women's circle with you. I have been shifting out of a long road of shame and fear and lack of self-confidence and lack of self-love. And through my work with plant medicine, I have been able to achieve a sense of understanding of where my blockages are lying, or some of them have already been healed, and some of them I'm still a work in progress, and some of them may show up after the circle because it's always like that. I'm grateful.
Yeah, right. Which is important, right, to share that even as a facilitator, like, we're in our process too. Like, I have things come up before every event, whether I'm facilitating it or not. And then during it, I'm also in a process too. And then there's the post aspect too of that whole process.
Yes, and it's part of being a part of the circle, because even though we are leading the space, guiding this energy into this intention where we came here to work on, we are not a part of it, but completely a part, meaning that we're in it with everyone that comes into this space. So I think that is really important to note. We are doing the work with all of you. Yes. And I'm grateful for that, because that's how I met you and doing the work. And I think that was really, really special experience that we had and the way that we met. Is it okay to say it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was very organic, right? Like, it was super organic on like, I saw one of your events with the Sananga, and I just had this feeling and heard like, I belong here. And so I showed up, and it was actually a really beautiful space, emotionally and energetically, for me to walk into a space where I didn't know a single person. And I just felt so comfortable because I had this energy of, I belong here. And like, oh, that was so delicious. Because sometimes I've gone into space, oh, I don't know, I can kind of feel some energy here, and like, I'm feeling awkward, and how do I fit in? But in this space that you had created, that I connected with, it was like, yeah, of course, like, this makes sense. Like, there was no separation, there was no up, down. It was all just there. And that opened me up. And I wasn't like I wasn't like, let me seek out this plant medicine in any degree. I mean, I had an internal call for community and connection and a lot of things that drew me there. And then I had the experience with the Sananga, and the Sananga, which we're going to share in this space. She just like, it was like first time came in and then came right into my solar plexus in my heart, and was like shattered it open. It just went straight down into there. That's where she went, inside my body, and just blasted open, like whatever was constrained there.
Oh, so amazing.
Yeah.
I love it. I am so grateful for these plants. They are so helpful. Like, it is important to do your work on the side, on your practices, on the everyday, but listening to you really reminds me on the amazing allies that we have with these plants that are just so intelligent. They know what to do within our bodies and what energies need to be released and how to move with us. And this is the invitation that I have for everyone that may come in tune to this space and want to join, to know that this is a space where you connect with yourself to awaken your energy, to heal yourself from within. So it's not an external work, and it's not like, oh, here I am, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to hold the space so you can learn from within your being. And that's what I resonated the most when I saw your events afterwards, which it was like all about internal work and connection to the body, which I was still missing parts of myself until I went to your nude embodiment event, which that was like a month ago. And wow, what it feels to just be fully nude without having someone else sexualizing you. One, that was really sacred space for me. And to be able to, all of us have the choice of being there, nude, seeing each other, witnessing each other in that space. I would say I'm still processing from there, because there's more layers of this awareness that continues to show up every day, that I continue to connect with my body and like, oh, this feels so good. This feels different. I'm like, juiciness.
Yeah, well, I think there's, you touched on that, holding the space. That is what's important to me too. Like, I don't really connect with, I'm here to teach you things. Like, yes, in the way of holding this space of the self-discovery, and for the individual to get exactly what they need. I'm not here to dictate what happens, and like, we're here holding this space for that self-discovery. And even I wrote down non-sexualized, like even the act of having a container where this is non-sexual. It doesn't mean sexual energy does not exist, because that's who we are. But this is a space where we're not going to have sex with each other, and we're not going to engage in specific sexual practices. So like that container alone, and then the act of like removing the clothes is the work. That's the teaching. Like, that's how I see it. Like, that is the teaching. Like, we are going to experience things, and in that process, we're going to witness a thought that comes up, and we'll have our breath, and then we'll have the Rapé and the Sananga. And if you can hear the sirens in the background, they are like, I feel like the environment can highlight. Like, this is an important message.
Yes. Yes.
The sirens are like, listen up. This is like
the most important part of the message here.
Yeah, is the container. Energy of the container, and what we do inside of it is what we're doing in the process.
Yes, yes. And this container is a safe container, is a container that is a judgment-free zone, which we really are able to hold that space. Now Kerry has worked with me, and I have worked with her, and it's like, there's no judgment here. So that's the number one thing that really like highlights my heart. We are here just to be and be accepted and be held in a space of healing and understanding and self-discovery. Yes, that like really, really buzzes within me, because I am here to discover what's within me and hoping to hold this space for others to discover what is within them, because that's how we learn what is within the whole. Because at the end, we're just little particles. We're like the neurons of the earth. And every time that we share information and we make synapses. So only by being in this sacred space that is safe to just be and discover, we make the synapses that the earth, our mother, Pachamama, it's asking us from the depths of our heart, like, awaken, awaken, what is within you? So here we are.
Boom, done. Sign me right there.
Let's go over what the offerings of this space are, to talk a little bit in a deeper sense on what the event is going to be holding, now that we have the space and the intention that we have clearly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be connecting in our space at Pachamama Munai in Lutz, Florida. And we are going to be gathering only sacred women. So even if you, what did I say the other day? Like I call myself, or I identify myself as a woman. I'm sorry, we don't allow identification. You have to actually be a woman at birth. So meaning you have a vagina and you have boobs and they are came naturally with your body. That's the easiest way that I can explain that.
Well, and for me, what's important in that space is every space is unique and there's a specific container of it. Again, talking about a container, and there's something very unique about being born as a woman and still identifying as a woman in the space that we're holding. And I think that's for me and us coming together, that's the importance of the energy. And it doesn't mean that other spaces don't exist. It's just that specific to what we're doing, because I've encountered that from other people, and it's like, this is what my heart is telling me in holding this particular space. And also I think it's also a different vibration when it's a biological woman and a biological woman in this space connecting about some biological and emotional things. And that's what this container is.
Yes. Thank you so much for that. That is 100% what it is. And with that, we'll be connecting with each other. We'll have some times for introductions and share what we're grateful for. And then we will ground into the space and we will start sharing sacred Rapé or Hapé. This medicine is really powerful, and the medicine that we will be sharing, it's Nahua Rapé from the Peruvian tribes of women. These women literally sit in ceremony and make this rapé, and it takes hours. They put so much love and intention into this rapé. It's very minty. It has peppermint and eucalyptus and spearmint, and it opens your heart and your third eye and just really allows for the awareness within the body and the space. So I'm really excited about sharing rapé with you all, because this specific rapé has helped me so much. It's my favorite. So we'll be sharing rapé, and then Kerry is going to be sharing with us some conscious, intentional nudity that I wrote it down, obviously.
Yeah.
So I did
conscious, intentional nudity as medicine. So we'll be going into that space, because it really is medicine. And we'll be doing some practices. I'll guide all of us at the same time to declothe, and we'll be doing partial nudity, so top and feet. So we're not having the space for this event of full nudity, but partial nudity. And again, everything is optional in this space of exploring all parts of it. And then I'll guide us in practices to first connect with Mother Earth and within ourselves, and just like feeling the energy of like even the wind and the sun and the warmth and the bare body, and like what that makes possible. So I'll guide us in that space. And then we'll also have the space of self-touch, like bringing our awareness deeper into parts of our womb and our breasts. And also the space, which will be integrated. I don't know if at that time, but eventually we'll have that space to come together and like hug each other, which is so special to feel touch, non-sexual touch, like nothing's being asked of us sexually, to come together and hug a sister and then like be hugged with all of our sisters.
That was my favorite part of all of it.
Yeah, that is like so special. It's like my favorite part too, of touching each other like through our bodies and wrapping our arms. And you know, it's so amazing. Every time women are together in this space, there's always women who say, it feels so good to feel breasts on my body. And I think that's because the breasts are the space of nurturing. and like to be embraced with other women and to feel that energy, that nurture.
Yes, where our heart chakra is laying too. It's right in the middle, and like it expands so much when we are able to actually move the breast a little bit out of the way to have the like chest to chest hug. That has nothing to do with like, oh, you put your boobs on me, or we're gonna have sex, or we're about to like feel something else.
And no barrier. It's skin on skin, it's earth on earth, it's self on self. Like the removal. So we'll be integrating that into that part, and then we're gonna go into Sananga.
Yes. Which Sananga is a wonderful medicine as well for emotional healing. So this is a great addition to our space, because a lot of stuff will start to come up as soon as we take that barrier off. Even if it's optional for you and you choose not to take that barrier off, you will have feelings and emotions and memories, traumas, moments in time that are coming up into your perception to get them to be understood, and they're coming up to be healed, because you have to feel it to heal it. There's no other way around it. So we're bringing up those emotions, and we're utilizing Sananga as an ally to release that tension and the emotion that is stuck in our beings. Call it any chakra, any part of yourself. So also we are adding sound healing into this space, which I am super, super excited to have Kerry help us with the gong. I was gonna grab it, but it's too far. In this space. I'm gonna do it at the end. But to really get that energy flow out of us, we're gonna be working with expression and our throat chakra, making sounds, oming, opening up. So all of that is no longer serving us, can be released into the fire, into the earth, into the sky, and more light and more of us can be shown up. And then there's more of an authentic connection and expression of ourselves. So we're grateful to be able to share this sacred Sananga medicine with you all.
Yeah, and also there'll still be the nudity in the space. So like that the journey will continue, and like that will allow even a deeper layer. I can see with the Sananga going in, because then there's already like all the openings before the next layer.
Yes, and the option that if you weren't ready at the beginning, there's still space, until you're ready. You are accepted and embraced, and the space is held for you for whenever you're ready to take that space and awaken that wild woman that's screaming to be free, to show up. So we're in it.
Also, like we're in the medicine, like however we're interacting, the medicine is still working with us. So if we're not quite ready for that nudity piece in that moment, we're still in that medicine. Just like you said, it's still going to bring things up. And so with the Rapé and the Sananga, we're in the energy of all the medicine in the container.
Yeah, it's the ceremony of layers. We're taking the step to opening up the onion and really have that space of discovering at the pace that your heart and your body is calling you to. So yummy. We'll go deeply into meditation after Sananga. We're going to be sharing a sound healing meditation that is going to be a co-creation of me and Kerry. And we'll dive within for some time. And afterwards, we'll have some time for breaks. And then we'll continue with our conscious nudity throughout the whole event. So you get the option of being partially nude for 5 hours if you want. Yeah. And then we will share sacred cacao, and this cacao is from Colombia, from our sister Camila Condor. And I'm super excited because I've never shared Colombian cacao at my ceremonies, and I'm from Colombia, so this is special to me. It comes from the region that I was born at, so I am deeply connected to this medicine. It's going to help us open the heart, open the third eye, continue with the connection to our senses, to our beings, to the understanding and the integration of the energies that are coming up. And we'll move into Kundalini Dance, which is a practice to connect the energy in a conscious and intentional way into the earth and into the sky through your chakras. And then we'll have space for ecstatic dance, just to be and move and embody whatever and whoever you want to be in that moment in time. Call it a monkey, an elephant, the grass, a butterfly.
A wolf, a bear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. And we'll have the fire too, right?
And we'll have the fire the whole
grandfather fire with us.
Yes, we're going to be outside in the garden most of the time, unless it's raining. If it's raining, we'll have space indoors where it'll be available for all of us to sit in the circle. We sit in the circle because everyone in the circle is heard and understood, and there's space for everyone to speak. We will have a sharing circle at the end, which in this space, you get to share whatever came up for you or not share, because it's still, everything is optional. And after that, we will together put our clothes back on before we eat and head out.
Yeah, which is a really important piece.
Yes.
That I've witnessed is like undressing together. And then if throughout the journey, that's the time that you undress, it's still in that container, but coming together to close together as well. Really like closes that energy and that time. And I think it deepens our like sisterhood connection in that space. Like we do it together.
Yes, is the weaving. Is that what you just said? Is the weaving together?
Did I say weaving together? I don't know.
I don't know, but that's
felt, and I don't know what came out.
That's definitely the weaving. The weaving will start to open, you know, like how like grandmas weave, or like how like a spider.
Yeah. Oh, that spider. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the spiders in the works here. So the sacred feminine is awakening, and we have to look at all of the parts within ourselves that we've been hiding and we've been running from, most of them filled with shame and fear and programming and trauma from others. So this is the space that Kerry and I are creating from the bottom of our hearts for all of you sisters to come and feel and heal and release what's not longer serving you. Anything else that you would like to add?
I feel like that really brings it together, with that dropping into that space of, this is about releasing those traumas and that healing, and letting that go. And there was something else that just popped in that went, but it disappeared. Oh, there it is. Just a reminder, like, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be confronted and triggered. And like, I like to remind people that, especially in the space of nudity, like, I'm holding space for nudity. Like, that's what's coming from my heart is this work. And it doesn't mean that I'm separate from healing still in this space. And it may be a forever journey. And so like, the reminder that, you know, we're all coming in this space collectively together, and it's okay to be afraid and to feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
To feel scared and uncomfortable, and to be judging yourself, like judging what your body looks like. All the things of whatever's there, like, that's normal, because that's conditioning of like, my boobs, they're too big, they're too small, they're too saggy, they're uneven, I have only one, like whatever is there around that judgment, or like my belly, you know, like, oh, it's too big, it's too small, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, I had children and now I look different, like all that stuff coming up to the surface is that judgment, that programming. And like, this is a portal to release that, to release whatever's to be released, and whatever's coming up to the surface is what's asking to be released. So whatever specifically has shown up in context of thought to the event, whether you were like, I want to go or not, but you see the event or that space of nudity and you're like, that thing pops in, that's the thing that's like, let me out.
Yes.
This is constraining, like it's constraining life.
So
being triggered is perfect. And being excited is perfect too.
Yes.
This mix of excitement and this call of liberation and like, yes. And then there's even, I think no matter how comfortable we are to whatever degree, there's still an aspect of, oh, there's something showing up. There's always going to be something that comes to the surface. So I think that's an important piece too.
Yes, your feelings are all welcome here. And that's what the calling is. Those that are feeling those feelings to come into the space so that can be healed, because Kerry and I are here because we are healing similar things: sexual trauma, sexual abuse, shame of the body, disconnection from the body, and we are done. So if you're done too, come awaken with us, my sisters. Thank you for being here. Okay, if you're feeling called to join us for this event, to register is really easy. You just go to pachamamamunai.org on your browser, and you're going to look on upcoming events. You're going to look for the Wild Woman Awakening in Lutz, and there you can find your ticket. As soon as you buy your ticket, I will be sending you an email with all of the information about the space, the address, what you should bring, and then we can be in contact for any other conversation that needs to be had. Kerry's information will be in the email as well, so you can connect with her. And if you have any questions, my Instagram is Stefa Honen, simple like that, just how you see it there. And then Kerry's Instagram is...
Nature is always nude.
You won't forget that. And we will leave all this other information on how to connect with each of us down in the comments below of this video. And if you have any questions, you feel called, you're triggered, you don't know, please reach out. We're here to support.
Absolutely.